Oh, yes. Oh, I'm blurry. Hey, everybody. This is Eric, and no Dan for the EriDan Film Festival yet, but he will be arriving shortly. I have been told. I have been reassured, but fear not. I am at least here to get the show started. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and everything. It's not even Sunday. I have no idea what's happening. It's a show. We're going to talk movies. We're going to talk The Fugitive tonight. So if you're watching and you're like, well, that's just Eric, well, then you can join us. And you can join us at eridanlive.com. It's so simple. It's so easy. You've done it before. Maybe you've never done it before. But nonetheless, we invite you to come and join us for our live stream tonight as we talk movies. And since I'm all by myself, I'm going to bring some people in so I'm no longer by myself.
Wow. Let's do that again.
Madam Librarian.
There we are. Wade and Stacy. Man, I am blurry tonight. My camera's a mess. That's all right.
How are you to us?
Guys?
We're good. You look clear.
I feel I keep going in and out of clearness.
Yeah, I see that.
That's all right. I do that sometimes too. Oh, and your cat is here.
That's Henry.
Henry?
Henry.
Henry Higgins? No. Whoa. Okay. And I'm getting computer errors. The world is on fire. There we go. All right. Speaking of, no, I'm not.
Errors?
Speaking of errors, and I know Cody's not here, but I'm going to play this one anyways. Richard and Brittany and
hello.
Nina. Oh my goodness! So you got almost all the important people are here from your intro.
We're definitely here.
Absolutely. So how are you all doing?
We are good.
You are good.
Doing good. Look at my new hat.
Oh my goodness! Look at
that's
that.
A nice one.
That came into focus so perfectly when you brought it up to the screen. That was amazing.
That's a nice
Wow.
one. I like it.
That actually is really impressive looking.
I like it.
It is. It's
It's
really
so funny
nice
because
hat.
I put these things on and I'm like, I have no idea how that actually would print on there. That's
I love
amazing.
this green brim.
Wild. That's kind of cool though.
Mhm.
I like that a lot. Wow, that looks really good. Speaking of looking really good.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
See, I went the other way. See? How are you there, Dave?
Getting by.
Getting by? Getting
Yep.
by? Glad you could join us for this.
Did a little work on my tractor today. When I got back in, I felt something on my hand and looked down. There's a tick just walking right across my hand.
Really?
Reagan got one
So lucky I
yesterday.
caught him before he dug in.
Wow. I thought that was maybe the start of a bit, but no, you're serious.
Nope.
Well, that's glad. Well, and good for you working on your tractor. It sounds like something,
It's something.
maybe Harrison Ford would do in his off time. No, I'm kidding. All right. Well,
Even strange,
that's true. That's true. Well,
An entirely different movie if Stephen Strange were on the run.
that would be a different movie. You're absolutely right. Speaking of, my camera is a mess. It's because I took it out to go to the orchestra concert, and now clearly I have the settings wrong.
I just hope it's your camera and not you.
Well, it's a little of both. If I keep my eyes wide open, it seems to stay in focus. So I can try that. Dan said he's on his way, which is like
From where to where? One
The
end
internet.
to another?
I don't know where. No, I think whatever he's doing is wrapping up. So we can jump in though. We can jump in and Dan can join us when he gets a moment to join us. Adam is at least here and in the comments.
Yep.
So Adams might not be on his way. He's
It's
actually
his
here.
movie.
So we appreciate that as we talk about The Fugitive. And so The Fugitive from 1993, and I believe this is Adam's movie. Am I right?
It is indeed Adam's movie.
Remember, a murdered wife, a one-armed man, an obsessed detective. The chase begins. Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, Celia Ward, Julianne Moore, Joey Pants, Andreas Katsoulas. I have no idea who that is. Directed by Andrew Davis. written by Jeb Stewart and David Kwaka. I have no idea. Names are not my forte. A budget of $44 million, a worldwide gross of $354 million. They made their money back on this movie for sure. Critics at 96%, the audience at 89%. And I'm gonna guess that this was nobody's first time seeing The Fugitive.
The young people. The young people.
I am so anxious to hear what your take of is on this nearly 30-year-old movie.
Well, I get all of the one-armed man jokes you guys made last week. I was like, I'm sure I'll understand these eventually.
I have to say, like, the whole time, all I could think of is Jim Carrey in The Mask when he's like, "No, it wasn't me. It was the one-armed man."
See, cultural references. We bring you cultural references. Come into light. Wow.
And I've seen The Mask, but I had never seen The Fugitive. So
You would never put, see, that's interesting because, again, this is a movie that, people of a certain age have almost always seen, right? Because this isn't even like a niche genre of.
Well, it's Harrison Ford.
It's Harrison Ford, and it's Harrison Ford, like prime Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Right. Like this is like Indiana Jones era, Star Wars era. This is like he was hot property in '93.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel I watched stuff that was made in that time frame, but it was not like my parents didn't watch anything like that. Like my mom would never watch Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. Like that wasn't like I watched like My Best Friend's Wedding and like I watched those are like the kind of movies that I watch, like more like Lifetime-y stuff, like feel good stuff. And then like my dad was like Twister and like Ninja Turtles and like I don't know.
Twister and Ninja Turtles is a great combo. That would be a double feature for the ages.
That's a genre into itself. It's thinking of a genre unto himself.
You launched me without me even. I thought you could play my intro or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you?
I was scratching my face, and all of a sudden I'm there. I didn't push the button.
Too many buttons.
You tell me you from the time machine with the
There we go. Hey, that was
Happier now?
hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
So we're talking about the fact that our youngest viewers with us tonight had never seen The Fugitive before.
Did they know who Harrison Ford was?
Yes,
Okay.
that I did.
This was not my first go around. My parents were big Harrison Ford fans. The only thing I could think of is how many times I've seen Patriot Games. Oh my gosh. That was probably a couple years outside of this one.
Yeah. Not even.
Oh, yesterday.
I
Okay,
think
so
it was
Adam's
the same
comment
year
makes
too.
me giggle because he says, I picked it because we've had so many depressing movies. I wanted to lighten it up. Okay, somebody's wife was murdered. How was that light, Adam? Like, time
Let's
out.
lighten up the mood.
That's acting.
Adam's version of
Wrongfully
entertainment.
accused of murder.
What?
It's a good Harrison Ford movie.
And don't forget, somebody's arm was amputated at some point too.
Well, at some point, and let's give kudos first for Brittany's attire. Well, hey, look
Look at that.
Beautiful use of the Power Rangers shirt, and it so well matches the brim of Richard's hat.
Yes. Oh, it totally does.
It is. It's a
Wow.
perfect symbol. I love it. That's fantastic. Look at that. That's so good. I think I'm ordering one of those now.
Class.
That's amazing.
I went with the Clutch
It's a
Radio
really
hat
nice
today.
hat. I do really like it.
I love the texture. It looks really.
Yeah, me too.
Sharp.
Yeah.
That is sharp. Rebecca says she did not watch this, but however, she saw it about 10 years ago, and she remembers Harrison Ford not walking aimlessly in a tunnel, but
Running aimlessly.
running through a tunnel. Absolutely. So if Reagan would have seen this, maybe at least the running would have helped,
Maybe.
as opposed to Indiana Jones.
She'd been like, he's in a tunnel again.
I mean, I know this movie wasn't the first to do a lot of tropes, but it did it so well right? There are so many excellent lines in this movie and so much excellent setup and the way it all plays out. I mean, to me, this movie 100% holds up still. Well, maybe not 100%. we'll get to that later.
There are a few little things.
Yeah, there are a couple of things, you know, but it's not like watching The Net with Sandra Bullock.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Oh, just wait. It's
Coming
coming
next week.
It's coming.
Yeah, we should just watch all the movies with really, really bad portrayals of future tech.
I like it. And this movie doesn't suffer from it terribly, where it's like, I mean, they have phones. They're just a little
big.
Over. Yeah, they're just big.
There were
Right.
payphones too. You
Yeah.
don't see too many of them anymore.
And it's not Back to the Future 2 where there's a fax machine in every house, every room in your house.
I'm good with that.
That never happened in
Adam
2015.
says there's moments where you have to suspend disbelief, and I don't know what he's referring to dropping off the side of a dam.
Oh, I knew you were going to go there.
And that was not a real guy.
I have no issues with that. I'm totally with that part.
Aren't all movies?
That's not as bad.
You have to suspend
as-
disbelief.
That fall from the dam is not as bad as Peter Frampton falling off of the tower.
Or as bad as the Rock as a scorpion.
Well, that's true too. You know, you're supposed to let your body go limp.
A dead guy maybe, but he was just a live guy who jumped off and he dove off. You know, he dove with form. All of a sudden, he's a rag doll.
I like when the leg, you can see his leg just like come up.
Yes.
They didn't weight him terribly well.
No. I don't
Well, he
know.
did injure his leg making this movie.
Did he really?
I feel like he injures himself every movie.
He
Yeah.
actually, and then he refused to have it treated because he thought it would be in character to have the limp for the rest of the movie.
Interesting.
Oh.
I
He had
did
ligament damage. And didn't
wonder
get it
where
treated.
Get
the
off
limp-
my leg.
I did wonder where the limp came from because I don't really remember them actually addressing the limp. It just all of a sudden appears.
Yeah.
Was it
He
after
injured it
the-
somehow in
is
one of
that
the
right?
scenes in the woods, and he decided to keep it for the rest of the filming.
Interesting.
So, did anyone watch U.S. Marshals, the sequel?
Oh my gosh, I forgot that was the sequel.
Mm.
I didn't know there was a
I did not
sequel.
watch this. Oh, there it is.
I didn't kill my wife.
But I'll kill you.
I don't care.
Like, well, at least he's
No,
on.
and I'll say that is one of the things I liked with this movie, because I'm not sure how many people here are familiar with the TV series it was based on, but they did what so many movies fail to do that are based on TV series. You know, to name the one I'm sure Stacy would think of with the Wild Wild West, but also Mission Impossible. A lot of movies, they use it as a jump off point, but then they make a completely different movie.
Yeah.
This movie is like a distillation of the series. It's Richard Kimball, you know, they changed the first name of the detective, but it's the same last name. It's Gerard, one-armed man. They added the plot with the medical thing that was, not in the TV series, but
Sure.
they figured out a way to make a very good movie out of a very good TV series, which is often not the case.
I think like Get Smart, The Naked Bomb. I think they did the same thing.
It was the nude
bomb.
The Nude Bomb.
Nude bomb. Next week's movie. No, I'm
It's the
kidding.
Naked Gun and the
Naked
Nude
Gun,
Bomb.
Nude Bomb.
weapon.
All right.
Yeah.
And the Naked Gun was the police squad.
I mean,
Yes.
the thing from this movie is that everybody is so young. Like
Yeah.
Jane Lynch
Yeah.
comes on, and it's
I
like,
forgot. That was the one thing I
Whoa!
forgot. That she
That
was
was
in
30
it.
years.
Whoa!
She was so out of character too from anything that I've ever seen her in. I have never, ever, not once seen her in a serious
It was her
role.
first major movie.
So yeah, that was like I recognized her immediately, like I knew who she was, but I was like waiting for her to be like the comic relief or something, because that's just how I'm used to seeing her, and she just wasn't. So I was like, this is weird.
She was wearing fun buttons. If you read her buttons,
Yeah.
these were fun.
You used to wear buttons like that, Eric.
It's like her Flair from Office Space. Huh?
He did.
Yeah.
She had flair. One of the buttons caught my eye. I can't remember exactly what the button said.
But it caught his eye.
It did catch my eye.
if you want to see people young, that'll shock you. Is watch the first season of Law and Order.
Uh-huh.
All the guests that are on there, it's unbelievable. You see people from every show, and they're 30 years younger than they are now.
Well, if
I
you watch the
love
sequel, U.S. Marshals, you can see the baby-faced Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I was going to say the baby face.
Now, obviously, Harrison Ford is not in U.S. Marshals.
Yes, he is. No, Harrison Ford is not. You're right. Yeah, it's really, in fact, that's the reason it's not as good. Well, there's two reasons it's not a good movie. One is The Fugitive balances the story very well between Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. It's really not necessarily either one or the other's movie. It's sort of seesaws back and forth between them.
It does.
U.S. Marshals is all about Tommy Lee Jones and his crew.
Yeah,
And
I would have to agree. Yeah, I would definitely have to agree with that. I almost would have preferred if they made Tommy Lee Jones' character the main character of this movie instead of Harrison Ford.
Well, that's what they did in U.S. Marshals, and it didn't work as well. But that's not the only reason. It also didn't have as good a director. And they took, I hate to say it's easy, but you have a very sympathetic character in Richard Kimball. A doctor wrongly accused of murdering his wife. He's going out of his way to help people while he's on the run, saving a kid's life and all of that. So whereas Wesley Snipes' character in U.S. Marshals it's not that he's a bad guy, he's not, but it's not the same level. And it just doesn't work quite as. The interesting thing, the director of this movie, The Fugitive, he directed 2 Steven Seagal movies before this.
Really?
And yet U.S. Marshals watches, even though it's a different director, very much like a Steven Seagal movie. Which is not a compliment.
No. Steven Seagal movies are the opposite of pizza. Because bad pizza is still not bad, but a good Steven Seagal movie is still a piece of shit. For lack of a better word.
Yeah,
he directed a good Steven Seagal movie.
He directed both Above the Law and Under Siege.
Under Siege? No, I'm sorry. Here we go. Here's some buttons for you.
There we go.
Hate is not a family value.
Wow.
Right. And then
she's so progressive for 1990.
One says we are family. I have no idea what the other button says.
Oh,
there's a very festive blouse on underneath.
There is actually a very 90s Ellen DeGeneres
like 4 colors, right? Like red, blue, green, yellow.
Yep. That was one of my few speaking of 90s. That was
Eric
one of
had
my
a suit like that from merry-go-round.
Besides the dummy falling off the dam, is I'm not a fan of the score. The score really wasn't great. It was very much here we're doing an action scene kind of scoring. It was a little too leading you on.
Story of another action scene.
This movie for me definitely lost a lot of points when within the first 10 minutes of the movie there was a scene that was double edited. So like you see the scene of Harrison Ford running through the woods in his yellow jumpsuit, and he like smacks a branch out of his way, and then 10 minutes later you see that same exact scene edited in, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're recycling scenes in 10 minutes.
I missed that. I'm knocking 5 off of my score just because you.
Oh man. Maybe there were just duplicate branches everywhere.
It was Groundhog Day.
The branch budget is so hard in Hollywood.
Yeah. You know what they do in some of them is they have like the people are actually holding the branch themselves, and they're just doing this as they run. You can't see it. Oh yeah.
The leg gets me every time.
And it's not like if you're blowing up a car, you may only have one chance to get the take right. They could have thrown 5 dummies off of there and gotten as many shots as they wanted.
That's fine.
I'm sure they could have had an actual person do it too. I mean, look how many bodies they found in Lake Mead so far. Now that's
How many is it now?
It's only 2, but still,
that's enough.
Yeah,
but they were in barrels. One was in a barrel.
One was in a barrel. One was wearing Jordache, so like wearing clothes from the 70s or early 80s.
Speaking of the 70s, I found a little piece of television magic that I thought was worth sharing. This is a sidebar, but again, worth sharing.
We're Darth Vader's Raiders, and we can't believe the things that you do. You never met a troop who played hide and seek the way that you do. You're out of sight, but be my foe. Look out, people, 'cause here we come. We know just what to do with you, so get ready, get ready. We'll change it to what we're through with you, so get ready, get ready. Here we come, get ready, 'cause here we come. Get ready, 'cause here we come.
Is that Chris Christopherson with Donnie and
I
Marie?
think that is Donnie Osmond, Marie Osmond, and I believe you are right, Chris.
No, I think that's another Osmond.
Han Solo.
It
You see
could
the
be.
teeth?
So, you know,
It looked like Chris Christopherson to me.
Yeah, I thought so too. That
Wow.
was crazy.
isn't that
If
magic?
your last name's Christopherson, really, why you name your kid Chris?
Well, his real name was Osmond. So
Oh, Osmond. Chris Osmond. Chris Osmond. So
Chris Osmond?
John Cocktoaston.
Mamaldahay.
Animal. Losing a lot of points because of an edit. That's the first. No, it's not. I've taken points
That's
off for
poor
editing.
production.
Poor production. I just haven't done it like that, like on the snap.
On the snap?
Yeah, this movie was going to get 100 before. Now it's the 95. Not. There's a cat behind you, Wade.
I think I was
Henry.
Hey,
really,
Henry.
like kind of unimpressed, like over it in the first like 10 minutes. I was really irritated. And I was like, I really hope it gets better because they didn't like I was frustrated. Like I feel like they didn't show enough at the beginning. They're like, they're just arresting him, like, and they're just gonna put him in jail for killing, like that doesn't make any sense. Like, and they didn't show any of his like defense attorney stuff trying, like it just was like boom, boom, boom. It was so fast that he was just in prison sentenced to death. And I'm like, but he didn't do it. Like, did you even try to like defend him at all?
Meanwhile,
There was nothing.
yeah, we have to watch Amber Heard.
The TV series ran for 4 seasons, and the only thing you get about why he's on the run is the opening credits, basically, almost like a Brady Bunch kind of thing, where they show him on the train and the train wrecks and he gets away.
Sorry.
So they don't go into anything. The entire series is just him on the run. There's no setup.
I felt like it was such a fast-paced setup that I was so irritated from the beginning. I'm like, these police are stupid. They all need fired. None of them did their jobs because if they did
opened in
their
the
jobs
courtroom
accurately, they would have found this one-armed
I
man.
think that's a perfectly accurate depiction on how the police operate.
I was
Well, actually, the interrogation scene was interesting because they didn't tell Harrison Ford what questions he was going to be asked. So they were surprising him with those questions, and that was his reaction to them.
Oh.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, Adam chose this movie and I hate it already. And then it got better for sure. I was like, of course, Adam would pick this movie and I would hate it, just like Saving Private Ryan. But it got better, and I did enjoy it. I agree with his comment. Like, I wish the end would have been a little bit longer, and I wish I would have seen a little bit more of them kind of being like, "Hey, we really screwed this up." And I was waiting too. When I found out that the Sykes used to be a cop, like I was waiting for the reason that the Chicago police were so hell-bent on making sure that he was executed was because they were like,
you wanted
friends with
30
him.
cops.
Like
You
I
wanted
was
30
waiting for
cops.
it because why the heck were they so adamant of like, we're getting him, he's
Oh,
guilty.
you watch any, as soon as the cop was killed on the train, that was when they went. And you see that in a lot of cop movies. Is
They were also still
once a
pretty
cop
adamant
is
that they had
killed,
gotten
they have
it
to
right
remove
the
it.
first time.
Right, but the guy's handcuffed there. The one-armed man that nobody believed him about in the first place is handcuffed right there
How do you handcuff a one-armed man?
with the other arm.
To the railing. of
To the
train.
railing.
To a
Oh, to the railing.
To the
Okay.
handle on the train.
to his leg.
All right.
That would have been fun.
Wow.
That would
Well,
make a good one.
We're almost at the half an hour mark, so maybe we should start talking about a score.
We want to score this thing?
I
Does
don't
anybody
know.
have any-
I have one more point I did want to go over.
Please.
I didn't quite grasp the really like unnecessary but very stressed kind of like one-liners that a lot of the characters have. Specifically Gerard, when he's like, I don't bargain, and we're like, oh, so maybe this is some sort of like personality setup and we're gonna see this circle back. No, it's just like a completely useless one-liner in the middle of a movie, wasting time.
Well, they didn't show the scene. There's a cut scene where he goes to buy a car and he just pays sticker price. He totally left that scene out. See, that would have made it all.
Because he had time for that.
They actually, in U.S. Marshals, it's even worse for that, because at one point, right after Wesley Snipes escapes and is on the run, they pause and they zoom in on Gerard and he goes, "Looks like we got us a fugitive."
Oh, jeez.
Oh no!
Yes. He didn't look at the camera. Looks like we got us a fugitive.
Broke the fourth wall.
Yeah, I just was so like that. I was waiting in the laundry room scene where he was in there. I was waiting for that "I don't bargain" to come back. Like something would happen and he was gonna like kill Harrison Ford, even though he knew he was like, I don't know. I was waiting for it to come back of like, "I don't bargain," like you're still guilty. So I just was like, it just never came full circle for me. I don't know.
Multiverse twist. Tommy Lee Jones takes him to Men in Black headquarters.
I was waiting for that too. I repeatedly made alien references. I was like, he doesn't bargain with aliens. Like,
There's a giant countdown timer.
Maybe you're supposed to recognize that he comes around, because initially I think they're trying to set up that Gerard is, bottom line is, his job is to bring him in, right? That's all he cares about.
Well,
That's
if you think about it,
not his
if
job
you were-
to worry about guilty or not guilty.
and you could not do his job unless you approached it that way.
Right.
If you tried to have sympathy and empathy with every single criminal you're going after, you couldn't do that job for as long as he's been doing it.
And so the fact that he really did finally come around to see what Harrison Ford had been doing, how he was actually willing to help people, even though he was on the run. He did legitimately figure out who actually killed his wife. That Gerard was finally willing to go, yeah, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're innocent, and we're going to make sure that we don't, I don't kill you like I killed the other inmate, And so I don't know, maybe it's a growth story, or maybe it's just
Didn't you see that episode of Dog the Bounty Hunter when he actually was able to save the guy? Nobody saw that one? It didn't exist.
I don't watch Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Me neither.
I guess one other favorite thing for me to pick on, another production error, the agent who has a little terse conversation after Gerard shoots the other inmate, and he's like, "Oh, my ear, I can't hear anything," blah blah blah. Later in the movie, he's clearly talking on the cell phone with Gerard on that same ear, and I was like, missed opportunity there.
What?
What are you? Because you shot me. No, I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah, I would use that forever, man. I tell you. What
I do have to give.
Is that why you put Stacy on that side, Wade, so you don't hear it?
Yeah.
I do have to give
My
just
bad.
one bonus point that Joey Pants was in it, and his first name was Cosmo.
Yes.
I just like that his name was Cosmo. I like that.
And he's back in U.S. Marshals.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to watch that.
It is. I'm saying, if you loved this movie, I think you'd think U.S. Marshals was okay, because you do get some of the same characters, but it's a much lesser movie.
Well, let's find out if anybody loved this movie. All right. Well, Dan, you're gonna do round robin here. Adam,
All right.
This is Adam's movies, but he's in the comments, so we can't make him go first.
All right, we'll let Wade and Stacy go first because there's a cat in the picture.
Because there's a cat in the
The
picture.
cat stays in the picture.
That's right.
Wondering-
It's on his shoulder, just like in A Street Cat Named Bob.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
He's Reagan's cat.
Clearly watching out something out the window.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My thoughts on this movie were, one, I forgot how much I like Celia Ward. I haven't seen her in a long time, and she was very 90s. I mean, and that's one thing I told Wade yesterday after we watched it, was this is a very 90s movie. I didn't realize there was a type. 80s movies are a certain way, 90s movies are too, and I didn't really realize it. And it was kind of nice to have that, see that there was a type. And it was too much for me, sadly. Too much action. I'm just like
Too much action.
And especially, I did not like seeing this whole murder scene. I was like, oh. But that's what the movie's about. So, but I like Harrison Ford. I like Sailor Ward. What's his name?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Thank you. I like him too because he is always in character. He is always who he's supposed to be. He's never Tommy Lee Jones. He is the rough guy, and I like him. I thought it was pretty good, but just not my type of movie. So my score is actually like an 81.
All righty.
Yeah, I like the action, and there's a lot of helicopter flying around. Sure. So I'll go with an 88.
So U.S. Marshals has an airplane crash.
Oh, nice.
Oh, might need to see that.
That's right. That's how he escapes, huh? Yeah, I can't remember the movie now you're talking about.
You had to one up. You can have a plane, a train wreck. You've got to have an airplane wreck.
Yeah.
Adam, you can put your score in any time, and we'll talk about put your comments in. But while we're waiting, Cosmo.
Yeah, I mean, it is. This is a movie that I put in the category of it did not have high ambitions. It knew what it wanted to be, and it did it successfully. It was not trying to be a critical darling, even though it won some awards or was nominated for a few. It was not trying to be anything more than it was, which was just a good ride adventure movie, and I think it succeeded at that. It is interesting. It was about 30 years after the TV series ended because the TV series was hugely popular. The final episode of the TV series was the highest rated show on television until the Who Shot JR episode of Dallas.
Wow.
So for 15 years or whatever it was the highest rated TV show ever. So it was very, very popular. It was supposed to go for 5 seasons. The only reason I went for 4 was because David Jansen was just exhausted from filming and said, no, we have to wrap this up after 4.
No more running.
Enough is enough. I can only run for so long.
The other guy wanted his arm back.
Yes. And in the TV show, the one-armed guy was a real one-armed actor. I don't know if the guy in this was or not.
Wow.
Didn't look it up. But it's a good movie. I enjoy it. I've seen it probably 3 or 4 times. It's not a movie I ever seek out, but I always enjoy it when I see it. So it's a solid 90 for me.
Nice.
It's my average score lately. I've had a lot of 90s.
And look, Harper's in there.
Oh my gosh, Harper!
Howdy, everyone.
That's gracious.
Says Harper, my rating for this movie is 80. So she's watched the movie, and welcome back.
Yes, Harper. It's been a long time. So good to see you. It's been.
You're not under some fake name this time.
She hasn't joined us since Wonder Woman.
Whale name or whatever that was. Agent K and the Alien. Wrong movie, guys.
I know. That's all I was thinking of the whole time I was watching it. Every time I saw Tommy Lee Jones, that's all I was thinking of. Like I said, I thought I was going to hate it in the first 10 minutes. I was already like, this is stupid. They didn't even try to defend him. Like, he solved his own wife's murder. And, like, what did the police do? Nothing, obviously, because he solved it and they couldn't. But it was really good. I actually really appreciated kind of like the ending, like in the laundry room and stuff, because I really didn't know which way it was going to go. That really actually like held a lot of suspense for me. Like normally, like I think I can figure that stuff out. But that one was when I was like, I have no idea which way this is going to end. This is going to be one of those ones where it makes me really mad because they kill this innocent guy in some weird shootout, or, or he's going to, kill his doctor friend and then he still goes to jail for murder anyways. Or like, I didn't know which way it was going to go. So I actually really did enjoy that part of it. I'm going to say a 78.
Nice.
All right.
Mina? No, I'm sorry.
So this movie has, I think, a really good story. Like I would have read this like a Tom Clancy novel. I think I would have enjoyed it that way. It definitely, I think, picks up, after they finally get through like setting up the story, because it's really about, Harrison Ford's journey through being the fugitive. And so the movie gets better after you get over like the first 30 minutes, I think. And, I definitely started to enjoy it a lot more towards the end. like the story. I don't like Harrison Ford. I don't know why. I don't think he's a great actor for some reason. I don't know. So I came to a 52.
50.
Wow.
Wow.
Woo.
All right. Well, I like Harrison Ford, so there you go.
Well, I shopped at Harrison Ford. That's where I've gotten all my.
Drive a Harrison Ford.
Yes, I have a 74 Harrison Ford that I've been refurbishing. That's a Ford Harrison, actually. I just farted. That's what that noise was.
Wow.
So it's a comedian thing. Actually, Ford's kid, I forgot his son's name. His last name is Ford. He had a place in Culver City called Ford's Filling Station, and he looked exactly like his dad. And it was in those open kitchens, so you'd go in there to eat, and it looked like a young Harrison Ford was back there making.
Is that the same son that when they did the refilming of the few scenes for the final cut of Blade Runner, he stood in for his dad?
He would have been way younger back then. He's got several kids.
It was only like
20
years later when they did the re-edit of it.
The 20 years later, that's possible then. Yeah. He's a little chunkier, but you can tell it's him. And Harrison Ford was actually in the restaurant once when I was there, but I didn't see him other than anyway. So just for that reason, I'm adding 3 points back because I remembered the Ford's Filling Station. But I was thinking this movie, I do like it. It's not a movie that, like Dave said it perfectly, it's not a movie you like, let's go watch that. Mm-hmm. But because we had to watch this week, probably was my third time also. I know I saw it in the theater, and I saw it at least once after. So the little production things did bother me. I mean, there were a couple other things just watching it. I couldn't figure out why, and Richard pointed it out, so now I know. So my 86 was dropped down to an 81, but then I added 3, so I'm going to go to an 84.
Wow.
That's my weird whacked out scheduling.
There's so much math. I didn't realize you weren't learned that much in high school.
I was in math. Actually, you and I had 0 classes together, I think. I don't remember ever being in class with you other than choir.
We were just in homeroom.
Homeroom and choir.
Homeroom. Yeah, I believe you are correct about that.
We never did homeroom.
More importantly,
oh yeah, sorry.
I like this movie. I do. It's because the thing is I couldn't look away, right? Like I was so like engrossed in what was happening, even though I've seen this movie half a dozen times. It tracks well. The pacing is really well done. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. It's not a movie for everyone. It is definitely an adventure movie. It definitely has weak points. It's 30 years old as an adventure movie. I think it holds up pretty darn well. I gave it an 89.
89.
Up on Adam.
Here's Adams. Dun, dun, dun. I can't do an Adam impression, but my voice, it's a good 90s action. I'm trying.
What's that?
He's right. And the acting is pretty good. I agree. Minor quibbles. But other than that, it's an almost great action adventure movie. 95 from Adam.
95.
There's no Goonies.
Sure.
It's no Goonies.
Sure. That's pretty high up there for Adam. That's pretty good.
I have not heard back from my mom.
Did we get? I was wondering about your mom.
I'm pretty sure she did say she watched it, if I'm not mistaken.
How could you not watch this? It's such a good movie.
I saw her. Why is my mom doesn't talk like that?
I know, but I did find some video of one of your long lost relatives, Dan.
Oh boy!
And so I'd like to share this while we wait.
This is the thing I sent you on TikTok?
I don't think you sent me this.
Oh, I sent you a thing last night on TikTok. I'm like, is this me?
No, what did? Oh no, this is this is a different long lost relative. This is so much better. Whoa, wait, I've got a little.
That's crazy.
Did I do that?
How did you do that?
Can I do that? There it is.
Oh, I've seen this before.
Hold on.
I know if you knew Susie like I know Susie. Oh, what a gal. There's none so classy like that fair lassie. Oh, goodness me, what a chassis.
What a chassis.
I love the comment.
I love the drummer.
Dancing stocking.
Everyone should just go through life with a drummer behind them to accent the important moments.
Eric, can you pull up the one I sent you last night? Or it was the weirdest thing. I sent this to Eric, and right as I clicked send, my phone rings, and it was Eric, and I was like, oh, I thought he was like calling me because he just a quinkydink. But I'm watching this. I'm going. This looks like it could have been me.
I don't know messages on the TikToks. I'm trying to find it. That's all right.
Hold on.
While I look for this, oh, there's messages. It's so easy to use, even a child.
This is a weird month. We had 5 Mondays this month, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
Because we have the 30th next week, so we do not have a double feature next week.
Oh yeah, we've got scheduling
the following week.
So, but we are doing Sunday next week.
Next week will be Sunday.
Sunday night for the double feature. We're such a mess.
No, it's not a double feature.
No, it's not a double feature. You're right. All right, here's Dan. Oh, what did I do? I pushed too many buttons. Look at that. Okay.
That's funny.
There you go. It's pretty funny.
I'm like, did we film this in the 80s? I don't remember this.
You could have. Oh, that's a nicer car than you had in the 80s. So I'm guessing your mom's not around.
Yeah.
All right. No.
Might be taking a nap. It happens.
She might have been here at 8.
Oh, she might have had book club. So she knew about the different time. But she might have book club. We had the big auction yesterday. I was the MC for it. We raised a bunch of money.
Nice.
Maybe she's
That's
exhausted.
awesome. Well, that's pretty exciting. Well, I know, speaking of pretty exciting, you're all dying to know what we're going to watch for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I played the wrong intro earlier, so I'm going to play it again. All right. I know you're all anxiously.
Cody.
A lot of Cody's here.
Where's Cody?
If Cody comes up, obviously we will then have to spin again as well with Dan's mom. I have added new spots for the people who are here, including actually I did not add a space for Harper. If Harper is still in the comments, I'll add a quick space for Harper. Whoa. Or something. Harpo, there we go. All right, I'm gonna give it another shuffle now.
Watch a Marx Brothers movie.
All right, so I did add a space for Harper. I got Rebecca added in there. Let's find out if we're gonna maybe watch somebody's movie. I hope you all have something in mind. What it might be. Let's see who we end up with for this week is gonna be. Oh, it's me. Oh, this is a problem.
Oh, it's real.
This is a problem. All right.
Why is this a problem?
You could defer to someone else if you wanted to.
I have a couple of movies in mind. I'm going to take a look at what, because
you're not thinking what I think you're thinking, are you?
What are you thinking that I'm thinking?
The nude bomb.
No.
A three-word title.
A three-word title.
The first word is the.
There's a lot of duh. Oh, you're thinking about the pirate movie. I'm not thinking about the pirate movie. What I am going to go with is something that is streaming many places.
Grease 2.
Not Grease 2.
Thank you.
I will share what I was thinking and what else have you been watching, but currently it's not, the other movie is not streaming anywhere, so we're not going to do that. And instead, we're going to watch The Truman Show.
I thought we did.
We did watch The Truman Show already.
Are you serious? We did The Truman
Show?
How did I forget this?
I thought we did. Maybe we didn't.
Maybe we did. I thought we did too.
We've never done The Truman Show.
Oh my God. We having a Mandela effect here?
Why
did we watch The Truman Show?
Why did I watch it recently? Because I know I watched it in the last year.
I did too.
Wait, I might be losing my mind.
No, I think we're the ones losing our minds.
Oh my God. I think we have a true Mandela effect happening here.
No, we have never watched The Truman Show.
Well, we've watched it, just not on the show.
Well, we've never
watched it within the last year.
Why did I watch it?
All right. Well, I mean, we could not do The Truman Show. People are not feeling The Truman Show.
Watch it.
I do have a couple of other. I have so many ideas. This is.
I'm good to watch it. That's just so weird that I could have sworn we did. Wow.
Because there is a musical that I was contemplating putting on the music. On
Truman Show, the musical?
Truman Show, perfect. Let's do The Truman Show. For the love of God and the help of Adam, let's watch The Truman Show.
It was maybe The Truman Show or Hamilton.
Truman Show.
The Truman Show. There it is. Done.
All right.
All right, everybody. Jim Carrey in The Truman Show. It is streaming currently on HBO Max. If you got that, it is available also on HBO regular and DirecTV, apparently, if you have that. But then also, of course, for rent in all your major locations. You can actually buy it for only $9 from Amazon.
Maybe it's because the show ends with.
It's very possible that because it ends with a clip of The Truman Show, that could be why it.
Good evening and good night.
But it feels like,
I feel like we talked about it. I remember talking about it. I remember talking about it.
We've already talked about it, so there we go. So there we go. So all right, there we go. We get
So there we go.
The Truman Show for next week. That'll be pretty good. So now, more importantly, we'll get to what else have you been watching? Because I'm not going to make you all go out and buy a movie right now.
What movie was it?
Probably one of the best movies I've seen all year, maybe for quite some time, would be Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, I've heard good things.
I've heard very good things.
I've also heard bad things.
Wow.
It's got some good scores on Rotten Tomato.
Wow. But that's all I'm going to say.
Wow,
I'm not gonna say anything else. But wow.
Is it streaming yet, or is it still in theaters?
I have no idea.
It was in our local theater not too long ago.
I believe it is still at some theaters, but I think it's also available for purchase at this point.
Well, you know what I've been watching? I already mentioned it. Old Law and Order. Holy moly!
Is that what they actually call it now?
Well, at first I watched the new one. I watched the new one and had a really big realization. The procedural is awesome because you get the whole thing done in an hour or 44 minutes. And the acting on the new one is horrible. Like literally, like,
well, that's not nice.
I can't believe how bad it is. And I went back and watched the first season with Chris Noth and Dan Florek and Michael Moriarty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like before all the classic characters even. And it's really good.
That's awesome.
But you just see actors on there, you go, wait a minute, who is that? Then you Google, like, oh my God, they were on Seinfeld as Elaine's therapist.
Well, that's very much like if you watch old episodes of The Fugitive, ironically. There's so many. Richard Anderson, the guy who played Sergeant Carter on Gomer Pyle is on it.
Wow,
Bruce
Vince
Byrne.
Carter.
And this just in the first 3 episodes. It's just, yeah.
And Richard Anderson, for those who don't know, Oscar Goldman. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sure.
Oscar Goldman, of course, the $6 Million Man's boss.
Obvious. So Adam goes back to Everything Everywhere All at Once, saying that he saw it, but he thought he liked it, but the hype was overrated, which is why I'm not hyping it. And I'm not going to say anything like the things that
You're not hyping, like going like, wow. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll say wow, but I'm not like some people are comparing it to like the biggest movies of all time. I'm not going there. It is available for purchase from Amazon Video and iTunes now, and available for Blu-ray release on June 14th. So if you're interested in that, yeah. But
also, if you're interested, Stranger Things comes back next week.
Oh,
and they released the first 8 minutes on YouTube.
I hate that. I won't participate in that.
Oh, my son sent me the link, and I'm like, holy shnikey. It makes you want to go back and watch the first 4 seasons all over again, which is what my son did. Or the first 3 seasons.
They all look like they're in college now, though. These are like grown kids now.
Well, they've been filming this since pre-pandemic, though. So a lot of the footage is actually them back then.
Did you hear about the spoiler problem they had?
Millie Bobby Brown was on Fallon, and she looks like she's 27 years old.
Right, but what I'm saying though is, but that's her now. They didn't just finish filming it now. They finished filming it like pre-pandemic they were already filming it. I think they wrapped like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're going to be on before this. They're going to be on AARP before this series is over.
Did you hear about the spoiler problem they had with this? There was apparently some, I don't know which game publisher it was, jumped the gun and they released some Monopoly themed season 4 Stranger Things.
Ooh.
that actually had spoilers in the cards in the game.
Oh no!
And the creators of the show were quite angry.
Yeah, I bet.
There goes that licensing deal.
Yeah.
There was a couple things today. So one of the things that I've been watching, obviously, is the Johnny Amber trial. I saw Dan in there a little bit today commenting on some of it.
Yeah,
I did. I saw you in there. I laughed. But the one witness they had today made a couple comments that I was like, I feel like you need to stop talking because these are spoilers for Aquaman 2. Like she said stuff today, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I don't care. I'm not going to see it. I have no desire to see it. But like, you're about to get sued now because like you're saying things that you should not be saying.
And that woman, I looked her up. She's like, oh, she's an expert. She's got 6 credits as a producer and 1 as a director of like some little independent thing. That's all she's got on IMDb. But
and she's
got
unemployed. She's currently unemployed.
She's got this entire website that she does nothing but. She's an entertainment consultant and an expert witness. She gets $650 an hour, which she admitted in court to be an expert witness. And right before that, the guy had said that Amber Heard was getting paid like $2,100 a week for this movie, the Hallow, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So $2,100 a week. If we break that down real quick.
Dan and math again.
Math.
Here we go.
There's more math.
21 or 26. Let's do 26.
Jambo would be proud.
No, you're right. It was 21.
21. That's what I thought. It was 2160 actually. That's divided by 40 hours is $54 an hour. This woman's getting $650. That's $26,000 a week at a 40-hour week.
Yeah, but you don't work 40 hours a week as an expert witness.
No, but she said she's been working for 3 years and made around $60,000 with them.
Yeah.
And it's like
it was insane.
Yeah,
but that was funny though. Those spoilers, I was like, oh snap! I don't think she was supposed to say that.
The most hysterical testimony I saw, because I've only watched tiny bits of it, but when she's trying to claim that she donated all that money to charity,
and she pledged it.
She pledged
it. Donate? And that isn't accurate, right? No, it is. But you didn't donate it. Yes, I did. I pledged to donate it. Well, that's not the same thing. Yes, it is.
See, if she was smart,
to date.
If she was smart, she would say, "Look on the wall. I used my name, anonymous." If you look at the list of all the people that donated, look for anonymous. That's me.
I did watch the first episode of the rebooted season of an old comedy classic, The Kids in the Hall.
I've heard great things about this.
I've only watched the first episode, and it was very much like the original show. It was like because they literally, this isn't a spoiler. At the last episode of the old series, they buried them, and in the new season, they dig them up.
Oh, nice!
It is very much a continuation, and it really is still. We'll have to see how the other episodes are, but I enjoyed it a great deal.
I've heard something special about season 2, but I won't reveal it. But
I tried to watch that, and Reagan was in the room with me, and then she went upstairs, and then there was full frontal nudity.
There it is.
Yes, there is.
And I went, no. And she was like, "Guess I left at the right time."
Well, give them credit. 99% of the full frontal nudity you see on TV is female. This was male.
Yeah.
Mike Myers did that. Yes.
Yay, quality.
Yeah, I didn't finish watching it. I turned it off. I was like,
paused it right there. She paused it right there.
I went click.
That is now her screensaver.
And Reagan goes, that's Pleakley from Stitch. I'm like, yes, that's Pleakley.
The stupidest quote unquote news article I read in the last week was talking about Amber Heard and whether Blake Lively should replace her in Aquaman 2, and saying how great an addition Blake Lively would be to the MCU.
Oh no!
No red article, obviously.
Speaking of the MCU, the Fugitive ties with Black Widow with an 81.89. We have an exact tie with Black Widow and
what got bumped to page 2.
So on page 2, we've got the Naked Gun.
The Naked Gun, not the new one.
To page 2.
Oh, the Fugitive got 0.
Huh?
The Fugitive's at the end of your list.
That's my document, and this is here waiting for next week. This is me not making fancy graphics. But yes.
We watched, since I've been watching this trial, my friend asked if I'd ever seen Bull. And I said, no. What is it? It's on Paramount Plus. I don't know if you've ever seen NCIS, but
My wife watches it.
guy who plays Agent like Tony DiNozzo, is like the main character. He's like Bull's his last name. I think Jason Bull. And he basically like has this whole team of people. He's got like a hacker and like an old FBI agent and stuff like that. And they do all these mirror juries where they find people of like the same demographics as the jurors for a trial. Like people hire him. And then they have like these hand scanners and stuff. And so basically he can tell you before the trial even starts which way they're going to side unless you do what he tells you to do.
Yeah, he's a jury consultant. Yeah.
But it's like super like
you know who created the show, don't you?
Huh?
You know who the creator of the show is, don't you?
No.
Phil McGraw, Dr. Phil. That's what he used to do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's Bull.
Wow.
He's full of
Well, Michael Weatherly is a lot better looking than Phil McGraw.
Yes.
And wasn't what's his name? Shatner in it at first? In the first
I only
season?
saw the first episode, and I don't know that I saw him in it.
So I thought you were talking about this for a second.
No, Bolt. No. B-E-L-L.
Another one of our favorites.
I do like Bolt. So I just watched the first episode today with her when she came over, but I was really, really good.
And my friend Barry Katz, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that went into the meeting with Dr. Phil.
Wow.
Got the meeting for him. I'm trying to look at the credits to see if he's in there as a producer.
Yes, he just says lists as series creator and producer and writer.
Dr. Phil is. I'm trying to see if Barry Katz is.
Oh, Barry Katz is. Not Dr. Katz, professional therapist.
Right, different Katz.
Not Barry Manilow. Different Barry.
Oh, Mandy.
Oh, Mandy.
Yeah, it's a Dr. Phil, but it's funny. It's Phil McGraw. It's not like it says Dr. Phil.
That's funny.
Tug's brother.
You were saying earlier about
Ross?
watching Law and Order and how much better the acting was in that. I've been saying that for a while now about television actors. You know, when you see something, you're like, oh, that's like we were talking about it earlier. You know, Tommy Lee Jones almost always acts the same. He's always the same guy. He's always the same kind of character, gruff. There were character actors back in the day that you didn't recognize them from series to series if they were guest starring, and I don't think that exists much anymore. I think
you get your actors who appeared, like over 10 seasons in 7 different roles. You know,
exactly.
Just odd little parts. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd use my phone because I don't have the same layout that Eric has.
And I do agree with Adam that SNL has the potential to be a lot less funny next season. I mean, losing Adie Bryant and Kate McKinnon is going to hurt.
So interestingly, I was just having a conversation earlier. The thing I was on prior, a guy named Dean Edwards, who was on SNL for 2 years, and I asked. My question was, how come there are sketches where I call them 90%ers? They got like a great idea. They've got the casting right. Everything is really solid. Like this is really a good sketch. And then they just have no punchline. It just doesn't end. Like there's no good ending. Mm-hmm. And he said the dress rehearsal is around 2.5 hours long. And they have to cut things for time. And they will get things, they'll actually cut the joke. They'll cut a joke out because they have to make sure they hit the time limit.
Wow.
And it's like unfreaking believable. And one of the ones he recommended was, I guess there's a bunch of stuff on YouTube called Cut for Time. Wow. And this one's called Gus Chiggins, Old Prospector. It was on SNL. And Britney Spears was the guest host. And she's not in the sketch. And that was the other thing. If the host is not in the sketch, they'll cut it if they need to cut for time. If the host is one of those hosts, it's like, I need to be in every sketch.
Oh.
So I'll put the link up. I don't think we'll play it right now.
The Selena Gomez episode was not a terribly good episode. The most recent one with Natasha Lyonne was actually decent.
Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't as good as Benedict Cumberbatch, but it was good.
I didn't realize she was Fred Armisen's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Well, they just broke up recently.
Yeah. And then he was on.
Mm-hmm. I am wondering. I was speculating the weird sketch where they're tickling her.
Yeah,
almost struck me as if they didn't tell her they were going to do that, and Fred set her up.
Yeah. Except, I mean, she did stay in character pretty. I mean,
she did incredibly well.
But and that joke would have been. I mean, what was it? 9:15 to 4:45. Yeah. I mean, that was just dumb. They should have made it like weekend at 9 to 5, the weekend edition, or working weekends, or because it was like Weekend at Bernie's.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have done something like that. Of course, she shot him, and there's no blood.
So you wanted more blood?
There has to be more blood. I don't know. So yeah, so that was SNL was done for the year.
Yep.
I felt bad for Kyle Mooney. He didn't really get a really huge send off like everybody else.
No, he did have the appearance in the last sketch. He played the boyfriend of all the
gray-haired ponytails.
Yes.
But I thought the Kate McKinnon one at the beginning was. I mean, she started crying.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed the last 2 weeks now, they've had the host in the opening sketch. And that's almost never a thing.
If it's live, because the host has to then get ready for the monologue.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was really weird that they did that both weekends in a row. Blah, 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 blah. I forgot how to talk. There's something else I was watching I wanted to bring up, but I forgot to. I can't.
So I guess Kenan Thompson's coming back to continue his run as the longest cast member ever.
Yeah, because his show got canceled.
Yep.
And his character's the same guy every time.
Well, so somebody hated Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the chat.
Oh, right.
What I miss?
Saw 2 horrible movies the last 2 days. Men and Everything Everywhere All
What?
at Once. I'm done with Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, I will say Everything Everywhere at Once. No movie is for everyone, right? No. But if this movie is for you, I have not been able to stop thinking about that movie since I've watched it. They walked out.
I've never walked out. Not only did he walk out, he was on an airplane.
I've walked out of one movie in my entire life, and that was.
He says he's never walked out. I've walked out of one movie too, actually. What was your movie?
Bean. And I love Mr. Bean, but the first Bean movie, we got halfway and I turned to Margaret and said, "Do you want to leave?" And like, sure. We just
you didn't sneak into another movie?
Wow. It was so boring. It was so bad.
I walked out of The Accidental Tourist. With William Hurt.
The book was terrible, so I can imagine.
We went to see that. I don't remember who I saw. I was in Pennsylvania. Probably one of the Chris's. I don't know. And I was watching the movie. I was like 10 minutes in. I'm like, this really sucks. And I think there was another movie where it was like we're up between the two, and that we always would do. Okay, let's do the one that's the next one that's available. You know, we did the movie roulette, and we're like, all right, we got 10 minutes. All right, the other one's about to start. Let's go to that one. And we just went out and walked into that one.
It's harder to do that now because so many theaters are starting to have reserved seating.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
But if they're still empty, you're okay.
Yeah.
No,
all
I
right.
never saw that one.
Yeah.
I've been watching Duck Dynasty.
Oh, there you go.
Are you sure you weren't just watching Adam?
Yeah, that's our mindless one that we put on at night while we're trying to get her ready for bed and do all the things we got to do. We just put it on.
Well, lucky for me, next month, Seinfeld's my turn on and fall asleep show. So it just always is ingrained in my head. And sometimes I have dreams and I'm like, why?
You ever notice when you're trying to fall asleep?
What is the deal with dreaming?
We started watching it last week when you told us what to find it. So I put on a few started right at the beginning.
Ooh,
first episode's horrible. Well, we'll talk later.
We'll talk later. I'm just saying.
Start in the second season somewhere. Maybe late first season at the earliest.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you just watch them in order, though. I mean, you don't.
If you're going to do a watch through, that's one thing. But if you're just trying to pick some episodes to watch, I wouldn't start.
Start. Right.
Yeah.
So Eric, you'll think
character building in this.
So this was funny. Our old comedian friend Augie Cook from Pittsburgh.
I do remember Augie Cook.
He sent me a message on Facebook. He's like, if Debbie Gibson is doing concerts for ARP, how is it that I'm still alive? I said, have you heard? I said, have you heard that Blossom is the host of Jeopardy?
Right?
We're so old.
But did you see the Natasha Lyonne at the beginning when they showed her when she was on Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Yeah.
As a little girl.
And she was like, hey, how you doing, Pee Wee?
Who was that?
The host of Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
She was the host of SNL this week. She's got their show Russian Doll on Netflix. That was probably the best line. And she was, yeah, I'm on a show called Russian Doll on Netflix. Yeah, Netflix and Russia, two things you want to be involved with right now.
Did anybody look up the IMDb page I sent in the film festival chat about Spinning Gold?
I did look at it.
Yeah, I looked at it. I was confused. That looked terrifying.
Well, I guess so. It's super early. So this was a movie that was shot like prior to the pandemic shutdown. So it lost all of its production momentum. So they didn't like pay for marketing or like there's not even a trailer out for it yet. But you can find some, like 5-minute leaks on YouTube and stuff like that. My boss, he has a lot of friends in like the movie industry. Like he's made movies before, things like that. And one of his friends who worked on this movie sent him, a couple, just some information on it and said, hey, look out for this. It's going to come out really soon. I just thought, like, since Eric really loved, Sergeant Pepper's and stuff like that, they might be interested in this. I'm actually pretty interested in this because I like Kiss. So it's not about Kiss per se. It's actually about the manager.
The guy that created Casablanca Records.
Casablanca is pretty much Kiss and disco, which are two things I have no interest in.
Oh, there is that. I could do disco more than.
Wow, you got a guy playing Gene Simmons in this. Somebody playing Donna Summer. Who
tongue length?
Casey likes. What is Casey like? Oh, that's his name.
Is Blake Lively? What's Casey like?
There you go.
Have you seen Daniel's Tenant?
It just made me think of this. It just made me think of Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Oh no. How about the Village People Can't Stop the Music?
Ooh, that sounds even worse. I don't think I've seen either one of those.
Ooh.
Michael Ian Black's in it. Sebastian is in it. Vincent Pastore's in it.
Yeah.
Chris Redd, speaking of SNL.
There's a couple SNL, two people on there. A couple ex-SNL folks.
Says it's going to be released August 18th in the Netherlands. So I'm guessing there's a festival over there.
Let's go. It'll be the movie of the week for August.
Russia hasn't attacked them yet.
EriDan Field Trip.
They filmed it in Montreal, and it had a $27 million budget.
Now, back, you were mentioning about feeling old, or some people.
Claudia Wells from Back to the Future. She was the original Jennifer Parker.
Oh, okay.
Was there? Yeah. How did I not know that she was in The Love Bug?
I didn't know that either. I didn't know she was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
No, I didn't know that either. So you're referring to the same TikTok that I'm about to play.
The Desperado TikTok, yes.
This thing here, where she's awfully excited.
In Back to the Future, and new pictures that I've never had at any show ever. That's brand new. Fast Times, that was Linda Barrett. That's brand new. Herbie the Love Bug with Dean Jones, and that's Fast Times. And this is Rock and Jelly Beans art, which is pretty spectacular. And of course, the flyers, which are so much fun. And I am at the Comic-Con Revolution today all day. It's Saturday. Sunday I'll be here as well. And I'm in the Inland Empire at the Ontario Convention Center.
Rocking the fanny pack.
Oh yeah, she's not playing. She's
not. Some people, it's you get to the point, I guess, where like you do that.
Well, it's Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also said, with Tom Wilson, he was like, no. $50,000. Yes. It's amazing how much money they make.
You seen the fall season? How many reboots and sequels and things they're doing? They're doing a reality show version of The Love Boat. They're doing a Quantum Leap reboot.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
And they're doing a Night Court reboot.
I'm not looking forward to that.
With Melissa Rauch as Harry's daughter, and John Larroquette reprising his role as Dan.
Yeah, Dan Fielding.
Oh, I get it now. She was in the Herbie the Love Bug TV series.
The
movie. That's why I'm like, wait a second. How does that work out? Because she's only a few years older than Dan and I, right? That it's like, how is she possibly in the Love Bug, which came out like the original Love Bug movie was late 60s? The first Herbie movie, I believe. And I'm like, I don't see how that works. But apparently in 1982, they did a TV series.
See, I didn't know that either, because I remember going to the drive-in to see The Love Bug and thought it was brand new.
But there was a Love Bug that came out when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was before us.
Herbie the Love Bug came out in 1968. Herbie Rides Again in 74.
Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo.
Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo 77.
Yeah, those are the ones.
And then
the Lindsay Lohan era.
With Lindsay Lohan, like the ultimate.
Oh, so Fast Times, she was also on the TV show.
Was it?
Yeah, Fast Times, American sitcom based in the 1982 movie.
She was in neither one of those movies.
No.
There you
but
go.
she was in Back to the Future.
She was absolutely in one of the Back to the Future movies before she was.
She was in the important Back to the Future.
She was in the best Back to the Future.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, the director of the TV show Fast Times was Amy Heckerling, and she wrote it. Did she not do the movie also?
She was in the Back to the Future movie, but she spent 80% of the movie as a fading away picture in a photograph, because she really only appeared at the beginning and end.
Well, she wasn't in the photograph.
No, that was his sister and brother.
That was a sister and brother.
She doesn't appear in 80+% of the movie.
No, she's at the very beginning and she's passed out at the end.
Yeah.
It's your kids, Marty.
Huh?
And then she turned into a
Crazy.
Time travel. That's terrible.
Ridiculous. I should have picked Time Cop. I really should have. I missed my.
Oh, no. Not a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, please.
I'm going to make you guys be so happy that we're watching the Truman Show.
I'll give you that I'd watch any Jean-Claude Van Damme over Steven Seagal.
What about all the Jean-Claude Van Damme? Okay.
Over one Steven Seagal?
Over one Steven Seagal.
Possibly. Seagal is about as bad as it gets.
It's true.
And now he lives in Russia.
Did he really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
He moved to Russia.
Did not know that. That is true. You actually all had me thinking whether we did watch the Truman Show before.
I feel like
I thought we did.
I thought it was on the list.
We did not.
We
We
should have
did not.
stuck
I'm
with
verified through all the archives that we have not watched the Truman Show.
He has fast watched all the YouTube videos. He has.
I think it was that it must have been streaming in the past year somewhere, and it was just on, and so everybody watched it because we watched it.
Now, I know we sought it out to watch it. I just don't remember why.
Or did I bring the DVD home? I don't even know.
It's so hard to say. But now you will. Now you certainly will. What?
Wow. All right. Well,
oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to bring up something that Richard just said.
I can't believe there's something else I watched.
What else could it have been? I don't even know what is happening here. There we go. This will distract you for a second. I don't. What is happening here?
Huh.
Oh, I see.
Well, at least it's a penny off.
Oh, I got you. Oh yeah, look at that markdown.
Look, it's a vegan-friendly set.
Wow.
Did you get the picture I sent you, Eric?
Oh, I no, I don't think I did. What is happening? No.
I sent you a picture a week or so ago.
Oh, whoa! When I have no what, but I think so.
No, I think he's trying to say no.
No, I think that's a no.
I don't think I'm going to say no. I did not receive that.
When did I send it?
I'm pretty good with my email. Is it email?
I sent it on the 15th.
Weird light coming in my.
I don't think I got anything from you.
Okay, must have been spammed away.
That's possible. Hold on, I'm going to start.
Away.
Oh, wait. All right.
Right.
I did not get this. Why did this go?
I did not get that.
I did not get this, but I have it now. Oh, that's really
In honor of Top Gun Maverick.
That's really funny.
I had an opportunity to get a ticket and go see that this week, and I can't go. I'm so sad.
I did hear somebody singing the praise who did see it, said it was absolutely phenomenal.
Kenny Loggins.
Wow.
Was okay.
No more bad songs. That was important to remember him. Highway to the Danger Zone.
Was okay.
Okay. Wow.
We're gonna go see that tomorrow.
I'm trying to figure out how I did not get this, but it came up when I searched for your name.
Doesn't matter.
Your phone might have answered it and read it. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
It's on my phone. It reads it, and then it shows as read, and I never saw
Maybe
it.
Jennifer's reading your emails.
That's probably what's happening. She forgot to hit unread.
Oh, I want to try to figure out where that went. I'm so confused. Such a quandary. Such a quandary. What else am I missing?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? What important details.
I had one of those dreams last night that was so detailed because usually when I have a dream, this is what else I've been watching. Usually when I have a dream, it's like my house on Rama Road in Gravenhurst, where I grew up in Chippewa Township.
Sure.
This was in this house. It was in normal times. Everything was pretty much real. Like there was nothing that extraordinary that happened until a guy drove an RV into my garage. I'm like, that's going to hit the roof. And somehow it didn't. But then he went all the way and hit the back wall. And that's the only thing that was really out of the ordinary. And then it started snowing. That was also
Homeowner's nightmare.
It's weird to have like it was just like an alternate reality for it wasn't really a dream.
Yeah.
Everything was like everything was where it was supposed to be. There was nobody in it that shouldn't have been in it.
I'm annoyed by those kind of dreams. Like,
yeah, me too.
I don't want to dream that I'm at work.
Yeah.
Like the whole point is to be in a dream, like live in the dream. Like, I don't want to be
exactly.
I don't want to be living the dream by just meaning my dreams are super boring.
If I go to a movie,
the whole sketch. There's a sketch where Michael McDonald they're sitting all these guys are sitting watching TV like crammed into this couch, and he has a dream that he has his own chair.
Well, at least it's something different.
It's something positive.
Yes. I interviewed all of them in Montreal once at the comedy festival, and the only one I could find a clip of is the Dave Foley part of it.
Really?
Yeah. They were all there.
This name drop is sponsored in part by Aglets. Oh yeah, baby. You know what I'm talking about.
He's pulling out the classics.
I'm pulling out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I started. Speaking of classic, I started watching the Star Trek, the new one, Brave New. What's it called?
Strange New World.
Strange New World.
Road 2.
Yeah, I watched all of them.
Isn't that Boy Meets World? I thought that was
Okay.
Star Trek Boy Meets World.
But Pocahontas was a Brave New World.
That's right.
Yeah.
A whole new world.
No,
That
that's
was
Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Yeah, that's Aladdin.
That was our wedding
That's
song.
so confusing.
Aw.
Our wedding song was from
Ours
Tangled.
was from Tangled.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't think we've watched nothing else. It's sad. I have lots that I want to watch. I have quite the list, but
I don't know if we brought this up though. Schitt's Creek could be our next.
I've
after
never
this
seen an episode of that.
I
It
watched
might-
about a season and a half.
Yeah.
It's got funny people in it, so
Mhm.
I'd be
Looks-
willing
looks
to
it
watch
is.
it.
And you get to say shit
Yes,
like
all
on
the time.
regular TV.
Yes.
Skits.
I think it was Colbert, because Colbert's on CBS, which is of course probably the most conservative network.
Yeah.
And when he was talking about the show, especially it was early in the show's start, He said he got permission from the censors. He could say the name of the show, but only when they put the title on the screen whenever he said it, so that it was clear that he was talking about with a different spelling. So every time he'd say it, they have to put Schitt's Creek up on the bottom of the screen.
Just like, let's be clear. We're not being naughty.
All right. So that, like, for some reason, this lives in my memory. Did anyone ever watch the Tom Green show when he had a show?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember this very specifically. There was one episode where he spent 10 minutes trying to get the F word on screen without being blurred out by the station or the network. And so he would write. So he wrote the F-bomb word, right? And then he would cross out the CK. But they would still blur the FU because it was in correlation to that word. So then he wrote fudge, right? And then crossed out the DGE, and they were able to show the FU. And he's like, "We got the FU!" For some reason, that just lives in my head.
I remember who it was. There was somebody recently, within the last 6 months, on one of the talk shows, a comedian, talking about how they on CBS they could say ass and they could say hole, but they couldn't say. And he said you can say one without the other, and you can. And they just went into this whole bit about it. It was really very funny because they were every time they would say it, they would get that bleeped.
Well, I was watching Better Call Saul on AMC, and they dropped an F-bomb, and they didn't bleep it. And I was like, wow, basic cable, not bleeping out F-bombs. But then I realized I think The Walking Dead had a few F-bombs.
Yeah, it's
for dramatic effect.
I don't know if you saw
I think the rule is this is that's 11.
Yes. That's what I was trying to say.
No, he's gonna get blood all over his suit.
She's like 20 now.
18. But yes.
What's crazy is they're our age, right? Like the characters are like in 1984, they're 14.
Oh. Oh, now I'm really confused.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when my son started watching it, he was in the same grade they were in, and they were in the same grade I was in when the show was based in the year the show was based in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool. It was like 34 years later. That's all.
So when they reach 2022, the kids will all be doing this.
I'm looking forward to watching the Judd Apatow George Carlin documentary.
Oh yes, that's next on my list.
Yeah, because I loved his Gary Shandling one.
Yes,
I did see. I haven't watched any of it yet, but the episodes of Letterman dropped.
Oh yes,
yes.
The new season of...
And he interviewed Will Smith, but I think it was prior to that happening. So there's nobody that's not gonna come up.
Wow.
My, you slapped him.
I saw another video today of Will Smith slapping somebody. Like, it wasn't the red carpet, but he was walking somewhere, and somebody like on the other side of like the tape.
Oh yeah, he went like, yeah.
You see it, and he was like, because I guess he tried to like kiss him on the mouth, but he like slapped him in the face. And he's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And he's like, he's lucky I didn't sucker punch him, but like. Everybody, like the thing above it was like, is anybody really surprised? Like he's been slapping people for a while. Like
I'm surprised nobody's taken the Power Rangers. Remember when the guy slapped the guy and he goes, "It shocked you, didn't it? Did you slap me?" That was like a running gag. Like he should have been like, "Yeah, Power Rangers. I'm in the new movie." It was all
Pete
marketing
Davidson brought it
plot.
up too in his bit on SNL where he said, on the one hand, I'm not in favor of people coming up and slapping comedians. On the other hand, it guarantees my shows will be sold out from here on out.
Not wrong.
All right. Well.
All right.
on that note,
I think it is time. It is so late. It is way past.
You guys.
Oh, it
we
really
started late
is.
tonight.
Yeah.
I have to go to
So Sunday nights,
Sunday. Regular
Sunday?
time.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Different day.
8 o'clock. Sunday night, 8 o'clock. The Truman
Show.
The Truman Show.
Don't watch another Jim Carrey movie.
Time.
Don't accidentally watch Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
I'm gonna go watch The Mask again just to see that scene. It was the one-armed man.
So much more, yeah.
It did come out 1 year after The Fugitive, so it was very fresh.
That's true.
But they probably filmed it before The Fugitive came out, and it was probably actually referring to the TV show. That's the irony of it all.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was a really crazy reference he made.
Yep.
that is a crazy reference. All right, everybody. Have yourself a lovely, lovely week.
See you Sunday.
As well.
Back here on Sunday night. Talk about the Truman Show. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.